One more topic. You got time for one more topic? They got you for one more topic.
You got one more time. I ain't come over here tackle me yet. So
All right.
keep on.
Last topic that we got is about Microsoft winning the U.S. antitrust case to OK $16 billion purchase Nuance.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Bill Gates boys. Let's go.
Nuance
getting that-
is. I'm
Still
trying to look
getting that
for.
long money, boy. Woo.
Yeah, they said Nuance is a artificial intelligence and speech company. They basically trying to retry this Cortana thing. They had Cortana for a while. That was supposed to be that answer to Siri, the Google Assistant, Amazon
Yeah.
Alexa, but it never fell through. Nobody adopted it. Nobody liked it, and
It sucked.
it sucked. It basically sucked. It's basically sucked.
Sucked.
And then it got to a point where it became so bad that they actually like made it a part of Alexa. It was like Cortana acts as Alexa, and Alexa will find the answer and give it back to Cortana. And it was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like, so they stopped that and they started over. And this is their attempt to start over. But, it was potentially an issue because since they already have this artificial intelligence branch, for them to go and try to buy this other company to, advance it, it seems sort of like an antitrust thing where you're trying to buy up all the parts of the industry.
Yeah.
And they already, it's Microsoft. They're the only company that fell short to antitrust so far back in 2000. So they the ones that, when it comes to regulations, rules, they're slow because they gotta cross their T's and dot their I's because they've been through it before. They the only one that been on probation. I mean, everybody else, they still just running from the law right now. So,
They out on bail.
yeah,
they out on bail. Basically,
that's what I
they out
mean.
on bail.
Yeah, like. What do y'all think of this with Microsoft trying to get into this because they trying to get back?
I like the idea. You can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe the whole idea of Cortana came from Halo.
Yeah,
right?
Yes,
it came from Halo.
It came from Halo.
Right,
Yeah, it was
right.
From the Halo
So
games.
I mean, being that I'm a gamer, I was feeling the move because I'm like, the idea that Microsoft is trying to integrate, shed more light on our universe. You feel what I'm saying? The game, I'm like, that's dope. But for whatever reason, we know the reasons why it fell short. So I think that with Microsoft,
short for me because they didn't bring real Cortana. I was expecting a little blue hologram to come up by
right?
I
did,
and be like,
facts.
"Hello, Michael." But she ain't never do that with just a little circle.
That was that was with Go ahead.
And to top it off, it wasn't even that. It sucked. You tried to use it, it didn't do anything you wanted. You tried to do it, it wouldn't open up the app right. I was like, this sucks. Take this off.
Exactly.
I just take it. I think I tried it when Windows, I think it was Windows 10 first came out. I tried it for 10 minutes, and then I was like, okay, delete this. And then I think I went and found something online where I can permanently take it off. And I just permanently took it off, and I've never played with it again.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened with most people. And I understand the technology and what they're trying to do, but in the PC space, it just doesn't make sense. It makes much more sense on your phone with Google Assistant because a lot of times, you need to be your phone hands-free. A lot of times you're in your car, so it makes more sense. But on the PC aspect, to really have voice control, it doesn't really
why would you really, it gave me the same. So I like I said, the idea of it is cool because I like Cortana, and it gave me reminiscence of those Halo days, but it kind of reminded me of now Microsoft Office. You don't see that little figure, like that little pin clip. Was it a pin clip or like a note that would come up with the eyes? They'd be talking and trying to tell you different things. Yeah, it was just it fell within that same vein of like something that was unnecessary. To just at the end of the day, it's you're trying to do too much. It's almost like the you're trying to iterate on something that's already deemed complete. Now I think what they're doing here with going with Nuance and with the acquisition is just I think they're in a better spot because of what they've been able to produce. And I was gonna say with just the history of Microsoft, I feel like in my humble but honest opinion, I feel like when it comes to them having to bounce back from something, they've probably, like you said, they bounce back from the whole antitrust thing. So their resilience when it comes to certain things they're working on, I think is probably best amongst the tech giants. And I mean, I'm excited to see what comes of this. I really feel like they're just going to rename it Cortana and be like, boom, she came back. I just really hope that, they give her the body, the little blue figure, because if you do that, you know what I mean? Or like, say for instance, like,
they lost a lot of brand recognition. They lost a lot of brand recognition.
Yeah,
like they knew, people knew from 2000 who Cortana was. If you ever heard of Xbox, and they had 20 years of brand recognition that they just threw down the toilet when they just made it a circle.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I was gonna say that if they come out, they choose to come out with a Windows phone again.
Yeah.
Right? If you say, like Cortana, like or something like that, and then she pops up from what we remember, I'm like, okay, I can vibe with that. Like they get into like the smart home space where you see that, and her voice is the same as what it was.
Yeah,
I can vibe with that.
Yeah, that's a good idea coming up with in the smart home space. If Microsoft did something in the smart home space with Cortana, that would be a cool idea. I think having that voice with there, and because a lot of the people that remember Halo from the early 2000s, now of us are adults now with kids,
That's
so we connect with that. So I think that would actually be a good space for them to use Cortana in the home automation network system.
I think
that would work.
I seen something on Google when they were talking about that same thing with like voice commands on your desktop or your phone. Like the issue has always been like there's a difference between voice commands and artificial intelligence, and trying to repeat to like a device saying like open notepad, and all it's trying to do is really recognize the voice of open notepad and recognize that as a command versus an artificial intelligent like algorithm that understands speech and understands what you're asking for. They with like Android, they've been talking about how they're putting tensor chips in their devices so that the chip itself can recognize, like, can do artificial intelligent calculations. So like it can resolve something like that a lot easier when you say like call such and such. I mean, leave a note for somebody, leave a message for something.
It's not a 10-second delay because it has to be sent up to the cloud and come back.
It's like right on the device.
Call Mike Baker, then like a half a millisecond later, you want to phone.
And you're not just using a regular CPU to try to figure that out. Like you got the processing there, and that could come back, and they would still need to have like a software development arm to be able to handle that. So I could see Microsoft buying them out just to say, we're just going to create a branch altogether just for AI and AI-driven responsibilities, in the cloud or on device. They're becoming so big of a cloud company that, on device is kind of becoming secondary.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I think if they did it really with home automation, I think that would be really cool. I think it would more work. So, yeah.
Unless you have the thing where, and this is more situational, but there's times where, for instance, I'm trying to like upload a video, something I may have forgot, and I can say like on my phone, like, hey, Cortana, like upload the video from my joint, and it actually is able to, it goes to my PC and then does all the functions. Now that would be, that's next level, what I mean? But
there's layers. Because they got to know about both devices. They got to know about both files. I mean, it's a lot.
Google they need to really mimic how Google really handled it. Google does a great job with doing their voice recognition, and like you said, they're in the new Google Pixel phones. I think it's Pixel 5. They're doing the tensor chips now don't have to do the voice recognition. It doesn't go up to the cloud. The computing inside the chips is fast enough.
The 6 is coming out with the tensor chip. They've been testing it on like the 5 and 5A type stuff.
Right. So so I think what's happening is it's quick enough to now understand real voice patterns and use some AI in there. I think that's the way. I think that's what Microsoft's trying to do. So.
And Microsoft got enough enterprise that they capable of still doing it.
Yeah.
They can make a lot of moves in the private sector more than Google has been able to.
Yep.
But I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you like the show, I'm gonna hit you with the spiel because I usually don't hit y'all with the spiel. If you like the show, find us on any one of your broadcasting services, your podcasting services. I don't know about broadcasting services; those things need to die out. But for your podcasting services, you can find us on any one of those. The iTunes, Apple, Google, all that, Stitcher. You might have some third party, random podcast feeder. it'll crawl and find us. So whatever your podcast reader is, find us. If you don't feel like doing none of that, you can just go to bohemia.media, https://bohemia.media, or you can just type in bohemia.media in Google and you'll find us on that also. Because we indexable, baby. Mike, as always, got anything to say before we
you mean you pretty much covered everything, man. I do want to say this though. I know so just throw this out there. We got like a whole gaming segment thing coming. Yeah. So I want you all to stay tuned with that. We tech boys, so we always want to talk about tech stuff, but I think you all look out for that. It's some great stuff gonna be coming your way soon with that. But as far as what we got going with Bohemia Tech Talk, y'all, like everything that Mike said, I second it.
Again, Wayne, where can they find you? Where they can catch you?
They can catch me kind of pretty much anywhere most of the time. Go to sdagency.net. That's the main site. I'm living on LinkedIn nowadays. I'm on LinkedIn all the time. So you just catch me on, just type in Wayne S. Stewart on LinkedIn. You also find me at Twitter. Find me on Twitter, same thing at Wayne Stewart. I'm there all the time. That's where you can find me.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we have you on again. Mike, it's always a pleasure. From the people out there listening, y'all be safe out there. It's a pleasure for y'all listening to us. We just be talking to ourselves if y'all ain't listening. So thank you for listening, and be safe out there. Y'all take it easy, and I guess good day. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. It's top of the afternoon. Take it easy, people.
Peace.